Hi, this is Obo1975, and today I'm bringing you the second episode in my Greatest Movies Never Made series. We want to talk about stories or ideas that I think should be made into movies. In the first episode, it was very much told you a story of Bert Troutman, a great story that would make a great biopic movie and a story that I think everyone should know. This one's more of a movie idea. This is an idea that I think could save a franchise, an idea that I don't see why they haven't done, which is making an animated Red Dwarf movie. Now, Red Dwarf is incredibly popular, and obviously the actors who play the characters are iconic. You couldn't think of anyone else but Craig Charles playing Dave Lister. It would just be wrong, like the American version of Red Dwarf was wrong. You couldn't think anyone but Chris Barry playing Rimmer. It would just be wrong. But obviously those guys are too old now to play their parts in a movie version. However, if you made an animated movie version, it wouldn't matter. You can have the four guys that we all know and love, and their voices would sound the same, but you could draw the animation at whatever age you want. You could also go back to the source material of the book, because the book has some greater set pieces and some more sci-fi action, which you just don't kind of get in this show, because the show had limitations on budget. Obviously it was a BBC Two comedy of its era, definitely had budgetary constraints. However, you could get the wisecracking that we know and love, the four characters that we know and love, and the sci-fi action from the book, the bigger set pieces, the bigger payoffs, and I think that would all come together to make an entertaining and good movie. I think it works well as an animation. You could even go as far as to give it to Aardman and make it an Aardman animation. The whole Aardman coming in with the Britishness may be a good thing. Personally, I would rather it be computer generated animation. Just aesthetically, I don't think a science fiction thing would suit the plasticine too much, but you know, I would watch it either way. I want a Red Dwarf movie because I think the Red Dwarf story deserves a movie. It's such a good show, such a popular show, it was so culty in the States that it deserves an audience, it deserves a movie. And I think being an animation would work. I mean, what do you think? Let me know in the comments. If you're a fan of Red Dwarf, have you even seen Red Dwarf? A lot of my younger subscribers want to know what I'm talking about. And for those of you who've never seen Red Dwarf and don't know what I'm going on about, I would recommend you go watch episodes like Gunman of the Apocalypse. Would be a good episode to watch, because as a one-off, as a standalone, it works really, really well. A lot of the earlier episodes, when the special effects are really crappy, you need to have the invested time in the characters from the start to really get the nuances of it. But episodes like Marooned are amazing bits of television. I mean, it is a really, really good case study of how to do cheap science fiction and comedy, and brilliantly written, really, really funny. A great cast of guys portraying the characters. I mean, some of the special effects aren't going to hold up today, and it's going to look old and dated to some of you. However, the comedy is just timeless. And if they don't ever make an animated movie of it, I would recommend you go back and watch the TV series and read the books, because the books, the original books, were amazing. There were a couple of sequels to the original books, which there's two writers who wrote Red Dwarf and they kind of fell apart, and they both wrote their own sequel, and neither of the sequels are as good as the original books, but all of the books are worth a read. So I mean, that is my idea. My idea is to make Red Dwarf into an animated movie, possibly 3 or 4 animated movies based upon the books, with the original cast from the TV series doing the voices. You can do it now before these guys get too old and aren't able to sound young enough. But trust me, it would make for an entertaining film for new fans and old. Certainly, there's a lot of people that love Red Dwarf, and it's got a huge cult following. So anything that breathes new life into it, I think would be very successful. It's one of the few British sitcoms that exploded in America as well, so I think there's plenty of justification, and you can certainly attract some investors to put some money behind it, or I would hope you'd be able to. And that's all for this video really. Like I say, this series is just my ideas for movies that I want to see made. And that's all, and thank you very much for watching.
That's the guy that killed me. I was like, where is this guy? And I was looking down. Didn't see him at all.